Hey everybody, it's Jeremy Sutton, host of the Servant PT podcast, owner of Servant PT, help women 50 and over live a life full of health, family, and fun. You just gotta live. Listen to, literally that's the name of the song that was just on the radio as I'm pulling up to the clinic. And this morning, driving to work, saw a deer run across the road. It's the first time I've seen one in a while, and actually had to stop and slow down and not hit it. And it kind of made me remember a time when one of my cousins and I hit a deer going home, and he had a little red Mazda truck, and it was ridiculous. Like, tore up his truck, drove home, headlights hanging out, and it looked like that movie Short Circuit, if you've ever seen that back in the 80s. Johnny Five was the robot in there, and he got beat up and had his flashlight was an eye and it was hanging down, and that's what the truck looked like. It was just like destroyed, completely destroyed. But we kept going. We were able to drive home, and we had to live, So we made it home. There was nobody to come get us. I can't remember if I was actually driving the truck, and I don't think I had a driver's license. We were young, and I can't remember. I have to call my cousin and ask him, but hopefully he was driving and we didn't lie to anybody. But probably being 14, I may have. So anyway, but the whole point is, the truck was destroyed, but it was able to keep moving forward, and so we were able to drive home. We got there. Got the lecture from my uncle. I don't know if we got a lecture or not. Probably did. We used to get a lot of lectures back then. But anyway, the point is, the truck was able to keep going even though it was seemingly destroyed, and it had been through a horrific accident. And it made me think about a couple of other instances in my life with some other people that I won't get into right now because it's pretty deep, and I don't know if I can say it without falling apart. But sometimes we get destroyed in life. Sometimes we get in horrible accidents, and people just come along and just wreck us. Circumstances come along and just wreck us. But the reality is that we have to keep living. If it doesn't take your life, and then you have to keep living. And so there's some really rotten things, some really horrible things that we have to go through in this life. But if you let it can completely destroy you. Like, we could have just sat there on the side of the road and not done anything that day, but it was getting dark and we needed to drive home. We didn't have any headlights, so we drove home. We didn't let that stop us on our trip to the house. Hello, my beautiful wife. And so we got there. We got where we were going. And it's the same thing in life. Like, stuff comes along and wrecks us, tears us apart, breaks our heart, and we have to keep going. I wasn't really planning on talking about this. No, I'm not going to talk about that. Anyway, we just got to have to keep going. And it can be very hard. And thankfully there are people that come into our lives, like my wife, like myself for her, that help us go through life, and they're there to hold your hand and put their arms around you and give you a hug and say, hey, it's going to be okay. But some people just let things paralyze them forever. And I've been there before. But if we do that, then we can't continue to live with purpose. We really stop living with any meaning. And so if that's you, if you're struggling today, and you really don't, life's really just kind of wrecked you, you don't really know where to go, don't really have anything to do, and seemingly nobody cares, or you feel like nobody cares. I care, and I know God cares, and I know if he didn't, he wouldn't have sent his son to die for us. But hopefully there's somebody that you have with you that can come alongside of you and help you and be there with you. If not, I just want to say, just put one foot in front of the other, and just try to keep moving. It can be very hard to get out of a funk, or I used to really feel like, I've told several people this, like when I had struggled with depression and anger and all this stuff, I would feel like I got in a deep, dark hole, and I just couldn't climb out of it. There was no amount of work I could do to get out of that hole. And I felt like that for a long time. Now that happens occasionally, but it usually takes me, hours, sometimes a day to get out of that. but it doesn't take weeks. It doesn't take months. I mean, I was in that for months and months and months. And, I'm just thankful that I've been able to, I've had people like my wife and my family and friends that have helped me get through that. I've had God with me who's helped me get through that. So, guys, I just want to encourage you this morning that, we just have to live, just keep going, keep pushing through things, look for help. If you can't find help around you, there's other places to find it. There's communities online, support groups, there's communities groups, churches, businesses that are there to help you. So just remember, sometimes life wrecks you, but you're not down, you're not dead. Keep going. Guys, I love y'all. Hope you have an awesome day, and I'll talk to you tomorrow.